Hey Expert Empires community, how you doing? Nick James here, and just wanted to make this quick video for you because I was on the road on the way back from the gym, I think, a few days ago, and I heard a piece on Radio 1 all about how some companies were talking to their employees about losing their regional accent. So, for example, like companies that have got offices nationwide were trying to get the people from the northeast to speak with proper English and the people with office in the Midlands to speak proper English, and so there was no difference in dialect of their employees. And as soon as I heard this, I was first of all shocked, but second of all, it just made me think back to when I first started in this business, when I was working in telesales for a seminar company. I remember the owner of that seminar company saying to me, because I had a bit of an issue internally about my accent, because I'm from the West Midlands, Birmingham, big up the Birmingham crew, and I'd moved down to Kent, Sevenoaks in Kent, where completely different regional accent, as you can imagine, and most of the people that I was speaking to on the phone were from the southeast and London. And I remember saying to my boss at the time, I was like, I'm not really sure about my accent, should I try and lose it a little bit and speak a little bit more properly? And his advice to me was really simple. He went, Nick, the fact that you're probably the only person from the West Midlands that is going to be calling this group of people, this audience, about personal development events, makes you really memorable, makes you totally memorable, means that in future when you call them back and you'll have built a bit of a relationship, the second you speak to them, they're going to have instant familiarity. They're going to know who you are, because there wouldn't be many people with Birmingham accents or from the West Midlands that are likely to be calling them. So he went, look, this is not a disadvantage. In fact, the opposite is true. It's an advantage to you because it makes you more memorable and more real. And I think, that was in my very, very early days of working in this industry, probably, 12, 13 years ago now. And it stayed with me ever since. And lots of people have spoken to me about this since, speakers who have said, what do you think about regional accents? Should you try not to show your regional accent? My opinion, my advice is always the same, which is whatever it is that makes you unique, use it to your advantage. Whether it's an accent, whether it's quirky things about your personality, whether it's your height or your weight or anything that makes you unique and different, use it to your advantage. I always reference the fact that I'm from the West Midlands whenever I'm speaking in front of a new audience, because it makes me, it's a bit of information that I'm sharing with them. In fact, shout out to my good friend James Lavers, who's an expert at creating connection through the lens on video. He calls this concept disclosure. The more of you, the real you can share with people from the stage, on camera, then the more rapport, the more trust, the more know, like and trust you're going to generate with them. So for me, whatever it is, and this is why this piece on the radio in the news really surprised me, I was like, I would tell my team the opposite. I would tell my team, if you've got a regional accent, whatever it is about you that makes you different, use it to your advantage. So the reason I wanted to share this with you, Expert Empires community, today is because I know that you, as a coach, a consultant, a speaker, a trainer, a social celebrity, you're building your profile, I know that you've probably got hang-ups about yourself, about how you look, about how you speak, about what other people think of you. You've probably got all these hang-ups. And the reason I'm making this video today is to tell you that you are unique. That is your greatest asset, and use it to your advantage. No matter what it is, whether it's a regional accent, whether it's, something quirky about your appearance, to be totally, I'm going to come really close to the camera. I've got this little thing on my lip, always have had it, this little lump, this little purple lump, stuff like that. I don't care. It makes me memorable. So whatever it is that makes you look, feel, sound a bit different, go all out on it. Use it to your advantage. Often, you might have a bit of a stress if you're speaking at an event about how you're going to dress. Sorry, I think we just paused there because the Wi-Fi was dropping out. So if you're speaking at an event, what I always do, I'm fairly standard. We dropped out again, I'm going to say it again. So I always make sure that whatever I'm wearing is unique to me. So I have certain traits with what I wear. I have generally, because it's my style, very skinny tight jeans. That's just my look. That's the fashion that I prefer. I'll normally wear a shirt with the top button done up all the way to the top. Not everybody's style, but it makes me memorable. It's quirky little things that are unique to me. So whatever it is that's unique to you, it might be, for example, I know some speakers that always wear a hat whenever they speak. Or, you know, look at like Gary Vaynerchuk, always wears like hoodies. I wouldn't normally on stage ever wear a hoodie, but he always wears hoodies and stuff on stage. Be you. I can't tell you, Rick, thank you for your comment, hearing it at exactly the right time. By the way, the reason I can share this video is I've agonised over this stuff for years. When I was working in this industry 12, 13 years ago, and I was freaking out about my Brummie accent, no one would understand me or get me. Even probably only a few years back, when I was kind of having a total crisis, going like, who am I? Like, you know, yeah, maybe I should dress more smart so that people take me more seriously, but that's not really who I am. So I went through a phase of going really casual, and that was a bit of a, then I didn't feel comfortable. And you know what? It just got to the point where I went, screw it. What do you feel good in? What do you feel comfortable in? So totally, just trust your own instincts. Whatever feels good, feels right to you. I'd love to hear what you think. So Rick, thanks for your comment. What do you think? What questions have you got around this? What are the insecurities you've got as a speaker or as an expert or as a social celebrity, somebody that's trying to create a profile online? I'd love to hear from you. What you're uncertain about in yourself. And I'd love to help you overcome that stuff, because I'm telling you, it's no coincidence that once I overcame that little crisis of confidence way back then 12 or 13 years ago about my accent on the phone, my sales results rapidly increased. As soon as I came over that little personal crisis about, well, should I go really smart, should I go really casual, where do I, as soon as I got over that and just went, you know what, here's what I feel great in, here's what makes me feel good, that when I get on stage I feel good, so that causes me to be in total confidence and deliver with a lot more certainty. Not a coincidence that around that same time the results I was getting as a speaker, somebody selling from stage, went through the roof. Chris, thanks for your honesty. Used to have loads of insecurity about his voice, terrible insecurity about his voice. He's corrected himself. It's not uncommon. And I was at an event yesterday speaking, actually, and there was another speaker there called Dr. Voice, Tony Wade, who's, you know, an absolute genius when it comes to using your voice. And he was saying, you know, the truth is, most people, if you surveyed the majority of people out there, bearing in mind that speakers and stuff are probably a bit of a unique breed, but the majority of human beings out there do not like the sound of their own voice. They can't stand the sound of their own voice. Listen, if you can't stand the sound of your own voice, if you can't get connected to that and love it, then the chances of you ever being successful as a speaker or anyone who's trying to share your ideas like I am here on camera, you know, on social media, the chances of success are zero if you can't get comfortable with who you are. Cheryl, thanks for your honesty. You need to jump over a few hurdles. I'd love to find out and hear what hurdles exactly. Because the fact is, as an expert, building an expert empire, which is of course what we speak about and what the majority of my events are about, when you're building an expert empire, you have to be, first of all, make no bones about it, people are buying you. They are buying you. And if you can't be comfortable with you, no one else is going to be either. We've all been at events where it's clear that the speaker is not comfortable. And if they're not comfortable, it's cringeworthy for the audience. And as a speaker, you're never going to create the trust, the connection with the audience you want. And that doesn't mean, by the way, that you can't be totally vulnerable, because I think you can, I think you should. It will create a connection. But I think also having total certainty, especially if you're selling from the platform, the amount of times I see speakers, as soon as they go into sales mode, they get totally weird and uncomfortable, and the tonality of the voice changes and the body language changes, and it's not good for them or for the audience, and consequently it bombs. You've got to be totally comfortable with your voice, with how you look, and you know, I think invest in that. Invest in training to get your voice tone right. Invest in, like, I'm not professing to be any kind of fashion guru, far from it, but invest in, if you're not happy with what you wear and how you look, invest in somebody that knows what they're doing, that can consult with you and share. Shout out to Sophie Thorpe, one of our mastermind members. Sophie, I think, is in this group, in the Expert Empires community. absolutely brilliant when it comes to knowing what looks good on people, what colours to wear. She's given me a bit of advice. Whether or not I asked for it is another matter, but she gives me advice all the time. Says, hey, that colour looks really great on you. And that colour looks really great on you. I noticed when you wore this, didn't look quite as good. And she gives me all the feedback, and it's really useful because, you know, I think there's a lot of advantages to getting expert input, because we can't all be great at everything. You're probably great at certain things. You're epic at helping people with health and wellness and nutrition or relationships, but you might not be very good at knowing what to wear or how to combine different colours and outfits. Like, go and get expert help. If you're going to be a speaker, if you're going to be an expert, if you're going to be on stage, you've got to be comfortable and feel great about how you look and how you sound, and therefore you'll feel great. And when you feel great, you'll perform at your absolute optimum. Chris Bishop, Bish, everyone knows the Black Country accent is a winner, especially when combined with wearing tweed. That is Bish's look. And actually, Bish, I know you're having a bit of a laugh and a joke, but it's true. Like, Bish has now got a look which everyone resonates with him, which is, you know, he's from the Black Country. I'm going to do you a disservice here, mate, and say Dudley, but I don't know. It's somewhere around there. Cradley Heath, come on, help me. Wherever it is. But his look, you know, whenever he's doing videos, he likes the tweed look, sometimes goes for the country bumpkin look with the flat cap and the checks and all that kind of stuff. You've just got to, I think whatever you feel good in, you've got to go all out on it, and make that your personal brand. What we're really talking about here is personal branding, and being unique, different, standing out from the crowd. If you don't do that, you've got zero chance of being successful in this industry. So hopefully, you know, for some of you watching this, maybe this is exactly what you needed to hear, like Rick said. But, you know, let me know what is it, and share, because I guarantee that if you share the things, the challenges that you're having, the vulnerabilities you're experiencing, there'll be other people in this group. The purpose of the Expert Empires community is that we're all in the expert space as coaches, consultants, speakers, trainers, authors. We're all trying to make an impact. And I think if you share a little vulnerability, I guarantee it will make somebody else who reads it feel a lot better, because they'll realise they're not on their own. So please share openly, willingly, as you've watched this video. Thanks again for all the comments and people that have watched, and I'll speak to you very soon. Thanks.